Alright guys, it is of course the month of November, and we are kicking off the stream. Again, we do these streams the very first Tuesday of a given month. I do usually a 30-minute stream unless it's an important stuff. I want to thank all the people that are coming into the stream tonight. I know my two moderators are here as always. Thank you guys for coming in to do your moderation like you guys always do. AA jumped in earlier. I heard he is at Walmart doing some figure shopping. Good luck on your hunt, AA. Hopefully you can join us excuse me, on the stream tonight, if you can. Very, very cool. If you can't, good luck on your hunt. As you saw on the thumbnail, tonight's stream, excuse me again, drink for tonight, doing a little bit old school Mountain Dew, just have a tickle in my throat right now. For this month, we're going to be talking I'm going to do like an open forum tonight. I'm going to do some Q&A and give you guys a channel update of where I'm at, what I'm working on, some of the projects that are going on right now that I'm currently dealing with. So I'll give you kind of just an update of what is going on as far as the channel. So first thing is, we always do on every single stream, we always talk about pickups. Not a whole lot of new stuff besides Blackest Night. I've been doing a figure review for twice a week now for the last 2 weeks. The last figure review is going to be going up this Thursday, and it is, of course, if you didn't guess it, if you have to watch the other 4 videos, that's right, it's parts of Atrocitus. So we have all the parts of Atrocitus here. We got the body of Atrocitus. We got his legs right there. Whoop, there we go, legs. We got both his hands, the head sculpt, and the kind of shoulder pads. So very cool looking head sculpt for Atrocitus right there. We kind of, if I was any type of host, I'll get in there really tight to the head sculpt so you can see it. Looks really, really good. And of course the shoulder pads he has right there as well. So that's going to be the video going up. No, I'm not sick. Titus. I've had a bad allergy attack the last couple of days, so it's just a lot of just phlegm. So I know it sounds gross, but that's all going on with me. So I'm fine as far as health goes. So that's what we had for new pickups. One thing I talked about, which we'll talk about later on in the stream tonight. I did a quick unboxing of the soda for Jon Stewart. This was the convention exclusive. I believe it was for New York Comic Con. Unfortunately, we just have the normal Jon Stewart. I did a full short video, which is what we'll talk about near the end of the video as far as the upgrades or things I'm doing with the channel to benefit the channel. I'll talk more about that. He's coming off being kind of a light colored green. He's much darker in color. And of course, you get the little pog saying Jon Stewart, and it tells you what number of rarity he is. He is of 7,950 figures. They made a total of 9,500, so that tells you what 2,000? Yeah, 9,500. That means 2,000 of these figures were done as this. I thought he was limited to 5,000 pieces, so maybe I was wrong when I saw this on the slides for New York Comic Con, or maybe that's the New York Comic Con exclusive version of it. But I thought this was limited to 5,000 pieces, not 9,500 pieces. So I'm not sure about the math on that. Last thing I want to talk about besides Blackest Night, and I want to circle back to that near the end of the stream, is I talked about this. I did a toy hunt and I found it, and that of course is the Micro Galaxies Razor Crest. It's the launch edition, which basically means their first edition. It's a very cool little playset. It brings me back to, let's say, Micro Machines. I have like a Micro Machines and the little playsets you had for Micro Machines. That's kind of what the feeling is for these little ships. And they have little action figures, which are blind box figures. But I stripped down the Razor Crest so you can see what it looks like if you've never seen it before. I did do an unboxing of it, but this is the Razor Crest. You can see all the attention to detail on here. You even have a little spot right here for the carbon freezing chamber that Mando had in the Mandalorian. If you notice, you'll see even over here, some engine detail right there as well. You see this door opens. You have the landing skids right there. Here's the back of it. And I opened up the top. You can open the top of it up. Here's from this side when it's all kind of together. Here and of course here. The canopy does open here, which lo and behold, you got to be careful because this is technically my second Razor Crest, mainly because I thought the guns could swivel 90 degrees, and I was moving the guns and I snapped them off of the hard points here. So I had to buy another Razor Crest for myself because I broke my first one. But there's just a lot of stuff going on with this Razor Crest. Let me put it all together so you can see what it looks like all buttoned up. It looks really, really good. They did a very, very good job with this little playset. I was very, very surprised of of all the work they put into this little guy. Again, don't get this confused with the HasLabs version of it, which was for the vintage collection. Don't get that confused with this. That trumps this one night and day. You're looking at I think it's like $600-700 now. It's even more expensive nowadays. But it's a great little mini, little mini playset. I love what they did with this thing. And of course, we just slide this top panel on here. Just give me one moment. Okay, and we put that up here. So this is what the Razor Crest looks like with just the landing gears. So again, not a bad little playset for about 30 bucks and change. There is one big problem I have with this Razor Crest, and the biggest problem I have is that there's not enough paint apps. Use a little bit of Rub and Buff. I've never used it myself. I've seen people like Mythbusters, like Adam Savage, who put like maybe some Rub and Buff on this thing, and it'll give you a lot of attention. They call it dimensionality. Basically, the Rub and Buff will get into the little cracks, and it'll give a lot of pop to it. That's basically called weathering. If you've ever heard the people on, let's say builders or people who do a lot of custom work, they'll do something called weathering to give this more pop and give it more aged look, like it's something in a real universe. This looks like it just came off the line, and that's not the intent I want to have. So I might get some Rub and Buff and put it on top of this and see if it will come out. Again, I've never done it before. I don't think it's that difficult. It's literally you apply it and you take a cloth and just wipe it off. That's literally all you do with Rub and Buff, and it gives that dimensionality to items when you're trying to get depth for it, to give it a lot of pop and detail. So I might do that, but again, about 30 bucks for the Razor Crest here. I like what it is. It's very, very cool. And it's for throwback to the old Micro Machines little playsets they had. And I think it was Mighty X, or it was a cartoon back in like the late 80s, early 90s. I can't remember what it was called, Mighty something. It was basically little playsets like Pocket Polly. It was the guy version of that TV show. It was a cartoon. And they had little playsets too. I remember seeing it years and years ago. Let me know in the chat, guys, if you can hear me okay. I think it's coming across pretty loud, so just let me know in the chat. But again, pretty cool little, again, a nice little play set. If you're looking for something that's very, very cute. It does come with minifigs, has 3 minifigs. I'm probably going to sell this minifig set, because again, this is my second Razor Crest. I'm probably going to sell these on eBay. These are what the little figures look like. We got Dinjarin, you got Kale, and you got an off-world Jawa. Hopefully it shows up good to the camera. There we go. Dinjarin, Cooley, and an off-world Jawa. I think people may like this because people just want, let's say, the minifigs, and you can only get this version of Dinjarin or the Mandalorian in the Razor Crest. You can't get this paint scheme in the normal version of the blind boxes. They have a different color scheme than this one. So I'm thinking this, people might actually buy these little 3-packs because it came with the Razor Crest. So that's that there. As far as switching gears a little bit and kind of give you guys again, Blackest Night, the action figure series we did. It was a 4th video series we did. It could be a 5th one coming out this coming Thursday. I'm going to do Atrocitus to complete that series and probably give more of a final thoughts and wrap up to that particular full line, because personally speaking, being completely honest and blunt, and I'm very, very honest with my audience, and you guys know that by now, I get what McFarlane Toys was trying to do. I think they executed it poorly. I don't think they picked the right figures. I don't think they were sculpted very, very well. The Blackest Night Batman was okay, but you have plenty of Batman figures that could easily just retool something. You had Deathstorm. Wasn't a big fan of the Deathstorm figure. Again, they took it right off of a piece of artwork. They literally took the artwork and built it from the artwork. I showed it, and I actually showcased it in that video, in the Deathstorm video, which is the second Blackest Night video. Excuse me. And they took it, they lifted it right from a piece of art. There was a lot of better artwork they had for Deathstorm. They could have easily picked a better version of the outfit, the suit. Just, it looked blah. It was eh. And as I was going through more and more figures, the Blackest Night Batman was pretty good. I like that one. Deathstorm didn't do a real well for me on the channel. It did okay. Batman did okay. Deathstorm did all right. What surprised me was how the Green Lantern Kyle Rayner. As you guys may or may not know, if this is the very first video you've ever came into me, or rather first stream, and you ever watched my content before, I'm a massive Green Lantern fan. There's Green Lantern stuff all over this studio. I'm a big Kyle Rayner fan. He's my Green Lantern. When I started collecting comics for Green Lantern back in the mid-90s, I think it was 94 to be specific, or 95, Kyle was my Green Lantern. I got involved in Emerald Twilight, and that's how I got hooked on comics for Green Lantern, was based on the Kyle Rayner character. To see the way they portrayed the way this character looks, he looks horrible. He has an awful head sculpt. He has a bright, bright, bright green outfit. It just doesn't look right. Let me grab him real quick so you can see what I'm talking about, guys. So this, is, of course, is Kyle right there. You can see how bright green that outfit is. That head sculpt looks just god-awful. It's the smirk, guys. It's the smirk. Again, not a fan of it. If you look at this, and I'm going to do a review in a few weeks, not now, and I'm going to compare it to this guy. This is the gold label version. They use the same buck. Basically, they use the same outfit, the same body. Let me get it right here. If any type of show person, you would see it. Again, they use the traditional outfit of Kyle in the gold label, which is a Target exclusive. And this one, not sold on it. The head sculpt, not there. One of the next biggest problems I have with the figure is the texture. If you look at Kyle's figure, there's textures, or I call dimples. You see all those circles? It might be hard coming across on black. Looks too yellowish green. Correct, Titus. I don't know if you can see it here, but there's texture to the outfit. I don't know if it'll come across on camera. Hopefully it will. You may not be able to see it because the camera's not picking it up. Hopefully it would show up, but it's not. It feels, the only thing I can think of, if you've ever held a basketball, the suit looks like a basketball as far as the dimples and the texture. Having a skin-tight bodysuit or a leotard doesn't make sense to make it textured. They did the same thing with this, so I'll give you an example. Here's one of Atroclus's legs. See the effects here? That's the same stuff that's on Kyle's outfit. The checkerboard effect, you'll see it right there. Right there you go, guys. See the dimples? That's the same effect that's coming across on Kyle's outfit. Why they did that, even with Atrocitus, doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand McFarlane's approach to do it that way. Maybe they're just trying to have stylistic approach or stylistic creative freedom to make it look different. That's maybe what they were doing. It just looks weird. I don't like how it looks. It came out awful. It looks just completely weird. Hopefully we get some more people into the chat tonight. Again, we're only doing a 30-minute chat. This is just Q&A open forum tonight, guys. We might just have our moderators. AA popped in. I don't know how many people are going to show up tonight, guys. So if no one shows up, don't feel bad. Just again, this is just more of a me just talking sort of stuff. It's not even there's no theme tonight per se. But as far as Kyle's approach to the story, he didn't have a showpiece in that particular story. He showed up in a couple panels, but he was off on Oa during the Blackest Night event. He was protecting Oa when everything went down. So he didn't have a huge stake in the story. It was more of a Hal Jordan story, unfortunately, and Sinestro and even Atrocitus compared to Kyle. They picked the wrong character. And of course, last but not least was Blackest Night or Black Lantern Superman. I talked about that figure ad nauseum. I hate that figure. I think he looks more like a zombie. But again, supposedly it's the Earth 2 version on the card. But in the story, unless it was a spin-off version of part of the other part of the story, which it was maybe self-contained in the Superman books themselves. But in the actual 7 issues of Blackest Night, which is this guy right here, in this book, I don't think so. That's Kal-El, normal Kal-El, not Earth 2 Kal-El. So it's very confusing when I read that card, and the artwork from the card is from the Earth 2 Superman, where he had the gray in the sideburn and on the side of his head, sideburns, I guess it was. He has gray here and gray here. That didn't happen in the story that I remember reading. But I read that story in 2010, so you're looking at 12 years ago. This story came out. So I don't remember a whole lot. One of the characters that they honestly should have, quite honestly, they should have, if you didn't know, this was signed by Jeff Johns. He didn't sign my trade paperback. I did see him at MegaCon. One of the things that they should have done, and I'm going to talk about it when I do my video review of my final thoughts of that particular story, of those figures themselves, would be this guy right here. If you've never read the story leading up to what's called Infinite Crisis. That is Elongated Man, and he's going to have a big role in this story. And I talk about that in my final thoughts when I do my complete update on what I thought of the Blackest Night characters, the figures. Hey, King, thanks for coming into the stream tonight, my friend. You didn't see it. You might have to catch it on the video demand, King, but we talked about this a little bit earlier. The Razor Crest from the Micro Galaxies. I showcased this off a little bit. Great little ship. If you've never seen it before in the stores, about $32. Very, very good ship. Highly recommend it for a nice little play set. There's a lot of attention to detail. Catch the early part of the stream on Video Demand Keen. I talk a lot about this guy. But when I do my video for Atrocitus, I'm going to go into details of what I think. If they said to me, hey, Rook, we're going to make you project lead, and we want you to make the Blackest Night series of figures, how would you do it? And I'm going to go into what my thought process is going to be, how I would create, if I was the product owner, putting that project together for McFarlane Toys, and I was given a decent budget, how I could have turned it around from what it was to what it could have been. Because, quite honestly, it was a damn shame what they did for those figures. Some of them were okay, but the Superman one was horrible. To have a character that its sole creation is based on a Black Lantern power ring, and Superman was created because he got one in the story. That's why he became a Black Lantern, and you don't even have the common courtesy in your quality control to put a ring on his hand is stupid. It's completely being lazy or forgetful, or both. They could have done both. I'm not sure. Or they didn't want to spend the money to sculpt it on. I don't know. That to me is lazy, and they should have not made that mistake. Hopefully McFarlane Toys watches this stream and they can learn to do their job better. Because you know what? It was piss poor and it was sad. Completely sad. As far as my personal speaking, if you ask my personal opinion. But when I do my Atrocitus video, I'm going to give you kind of a what if. What if Rook had power at McFarlane Toys as sort of a final thoughts on, and like an addendum to that video of all the figures. I'll have all the figures out when I do the final thoughts with the Atrocitus figure. But all things considered, they could have done a better job. They just dropped the ball massively. I don't think it was an okay series of figures. I wanted the Kyle figure, but I got the gold label version. I didn't need to buy the Blackest Night series of figures. I wanted Atrocitus. And that's the reason why I got the Superman figure, the Black Lantern Superman figure. If I didn't need Atrocitus, I would never have bought that figure. It's bad. It's really, really, really bad. Really, 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 really bad. I do like the articulation, don't get me wrong, and I do like the cape. The cape is cool, how it branches off the two pieces of capes. I do like that approach. I can see them doing a Hawk figure for maybe Hawk and Dove. They can use that cape design, because I believe Hawk has a cape like that, where it's just two pieces that come off his back, off his shoulders, to cross his back. I can see them make a Hawk figure from DC. They could do that as well. Absolutely. Absolutely, they could do something like that. If they wanted to go down that road, heck yeah. Absolutely. So, as far as switching gears a little bit now, and again, this is an open forum we're talking about tonight, guys. We'll go to Q&A momentarily. One of the updates I'm doing with the channel, if you did not know, is that I'm going to be doing a lot of YouTube shorts. I'm doing those on kind of like my off days of not shooting content. My Mondays, possibly Wednesdays, and possibly Fridays. Maybe 1 or 2 shorts a week I'm going to be putting up. And shorts are like TikTok videos. If you've never seen TikTok, TikTok videos are usually 15 seconds to 60 seconds long. They're basically shot on your phone. They're vertical, so they're in a vertical format. That's how the best way to view them. And they're really meant to be bite-sized pieces of content, super quick. You have to have a good hook to pull them in. What the YouTube Shorts do, however, is give you explosive growth. They can give you massive amounts of views very, very quickly. So I'm going to be doing that a lot now. Some of the biggest concern I have with YouTube Shorts is that sometimes you'll put them up and not get they'll not come to the YouTube shelf. What they call the short shelf. You'll probably see shorts on your YouTube app. I'm not sure if that's physically where the shelf is, or if you hit shorts, that's where they all show up at. They usually have a rotation, depending on how a video does, through the algorithm. All hail the algorithm. Sometimes they will show up there, sometimes they won't. I've had videos that after 2 hours, they would just explode with views out of the blue. I've had times it took me 3 days for that video to be sent on the short shelf. It's completely chaotic and erratic when those short videos show up on the short shelf because there's no rhyme or reason to them. I don't know why they, one minute they'll be there, next minute they won't be there. I will go and maybe tweak a video a little bit, try to force it to the short shelf by making a change to the title or description that would force it. They'll go, okay, let me push this now to the short shelf. I've tried it before. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. I shot 2 videos based on, I went to a tribute band for Metallica, and it was one song. I think it was for Master of Puppets, I believe it was, and I shot 2 parts of the video. It's literally me just screaming in the concert and just the same title, identical title, same amount of time, about 20-25 seconds long, same identical words, but one of them got mass amounts of views, the other one didn't, for no different reason. Possibly the biggest problem with YouTube Shorts is that it picks, when you upload the video on your phone, I don't know about that, Titus. Sometimes they don't send those out. I'm not sure of the reason why, per se. So that video was a picture of my face as opposed to the picture of the band. You can tweak them. People will tell you, well, you can change your YouTube short thumbnail to the one you want. That's not true. That you would see it from if you're looking at it on a PC or you're seeing it on a smart TV, but you would see the uploaded shot and whatever YouTube decides to pick that image for from that shot. You can't tweak it. You can't modify it. You can, on your desktop, you can change the thumbnail, but that applies to stuff on your PC or stuff on a smart TV or another device, not your mobile phone. You can't change that image. I've tried, and people say you can do it. You can't. They removed that functionality a while ago. Again, this kicked off, I think, in 2020 and 2021. They kind of really rolled it out to basically go head-to-head with TikTok. That was their approach for YouTube Shorts. That's why they're doing it. I'm doing it now to try to get my brand out there. That's the whole reason I'm doing it. I've had a couple of shorts that did well. Stuff for that Metallica one I did. I did one in about an hour and a half. It was one of my intros for my toy hunts. Very, very catchy music. It blew up. It had close to 1,000 views. The Metallica one picked up 1,300 views in about 3.5 to 4 days. But it was sitting there on the short shelf the whole time. There were other views that would come in. People would watch pieces of the shorts, but it didn't get explosive growth. And I know when it hit the short shelf because my views would just start spiking out of the blue. And that's what I really, really wanted. And I want to get basically my brand out there to help grow the channel. That's the whole idea for me even doing shorts, for my personal opinion. That being said, those are the updates. One last update is probably Black Friday. And keep your eyes open for Black Friday. Especially people who are Funko fans, and this goes out especially on the VOD when you guys download this on video on demand in the next day or so. They're probably going to be doing another Funko thing at GameStop. They did one since 2017. I'm assuming they're doing one this year. I haven't been told. I haven't heard anything or haven't seen any leaks. So I'm not sure what they're going to be doing. Last year was the Deadpool ones. Prior year, in 2020, it was the Fantastic Four done as Venomized. So I don't know what they're going to be doing this year. Hopefully it'll be a DC one because we've had technically 2 different Marvel ones in the last 2 years. We had the Fantastic Four one as Venomized. We did Deadpool, which was a Deadpool box, in 2021. What I try doing when I get those the Black Friday ones, I try to shoot the content the same day. That's how I have to get that video up as quickly as I possibly can because the amount of competition out there is going to be mind-boggling. But I want to get my views and my opinions out there before anybody else can get up there as well. For the last few years, it's been probably one of my most watched videos. Not taking away the YouTube short stuff, probably my most watched content. You're going to laugh, but my most watched content right now in the last 11 months was my Don't Buy This Queen 2-album set, the Walmart exclusive, where I said don't buy this collectible. It is my most watched video I have on my channel in the last year. I'm going to be doing it, Jackie. I just haven't got around to shot the Dollar Tree stuff yet. I shot a beginning portion of a toy hunt at Target. It was about a 5-minute portion of the hunt. It was more of a what they're showing new stuff there. I didn't buy anything, but I'm going to circle back to that same target in another week or so. So I'm going to have about a 2 or 3 week layover between when I shot the first part of the content to the last part of the content to give it a bit of time to cook to see if anything else shows up. That was my idea there. I'm doing the Dollar Tree stuff. I went there to a Dollar Tree a couple nights ago near my house, and surprisingly they had stuff for JLA figures. They had He-Man, so I might be showcasing that stuff off, but I will be doing it. Absolutely. Definitely be doing that. Let's circle back now for the last 5 minutes with some Q&A. Hit me up with questions in the chat, guys. Moderators, you're free range. You can type whatever you want. We got 5 more minutes left on the stream. I was hoping we can knock out 30 minutes tonight, and we did. I'm just a windbag tonight. Just me, just talk. So yeah, the definitely Black Friday stuff. I'm hoping to get some good boxes. Hopefully we'll do some good stuff this year. Last year, again, we had Marvel. Prior year, we had Fantastic Four. So hopefully this year will be good. Up. Dan, good to see you, my friend. Yes, I remember the good old days at toy hunting at Toys R Us. 100% remember those. I did stuff with P2 years ago before Toys R Us basically went out. I went to the Macy's. There was a Macy's about 30 minutes from my house, which is a pretty big section now for Toys R Us. So I was pretty impressed by their stuff. I shot a little bit of video for that. What are you planning for the next month? As far as content goes, I wanted to go do some more Funko stuff. My little Gambit statue. He's up on the shelf right now. I definitely want to do a review of him. I did a 20 or 30 second quick little YouTube short of it. Definitely going to do a full unboxing of that one, which is the what's it called? The Minico figure. The Minico statue of Gambit. I'm definitely going to be doing that. That's definitely in my wheelhouse. I'm going to be going back to that. I'm going to be doing a review of this bad boy right here. Let me get him out. That guy. The Goat Boat. He said the stuff referring to the Thor Love and Thunder has done very, very well on the channel. I'm going to do a full review and unboxing of the Goat Boat. I just think it's so corny and so silly. I have to pick him up, and I have to do a review on him. It's very, very cool. Oops, dropped the mic. But very, very cool item. It is basically a pop ride, so it's not a pop deluxe. So I'm happy about that. Yep, it was fun when I did the Hunt with P2. From what I heard, I don't even think he's doing... I heard from somebody that I don't even know what he's doing with his channel. I think he's on Twitch now, so I haven't ran into him at all. He was in the... he was more in the about 45 minutes from where I moved to. We haven't... I haven't seen him or spoken to him in I want to say 3 or 4 years. Yeah, it was cool hanging out with P2. We did some good stuff together. But he was with a bunch of other guys he did stuff with. That was his group of guys. So it was fun. It was definitely fun. Do I miss it? Absolutely. I do miss the Force Friday stuff. That was very fun at Toys R Us. When the brand new Star Wars movies were coming out, all the new stuff that was there, that was always fun to shoot content for, especially late at night when it would drop at midnight. Yeah, I figured he quit YouTube, Jackie. I figured he did. That was my thought. I think he quit YouTube. He roughly told me how much he was making. He was making good money. Yeah, he did all the time. Absolutely. Yep. If you don't know, guys, Dan was the one who helped put together the logo that you see on the chat, above the chat box. He's the one who helped design it. If you did not know. So he did a lot of work on the channel. Him and I kind of met. He found me on YouTube. So I'm always thankful for him for the assistance he helped me out with. So it was very, very cool that he did that. Absolutely. I don't know what happened to them, Dan, quite honestly. I think the Nerd Therapy couple, they are married. They have kids, as far as I know. I never met them. Haven't chatted with them. They're kind of one of the main reasons I got into YouTube. I saw their stuff and said I could probably do this. and lo and behold, their Facebook group is very, very active. It's one of the key places I go to get new Funko information all the time. Definitely go there. I'll always go there. It's very, very useful to get that information from their particular site. Yep. He also came up with the Rook 180. If you guys didn't know, he helped me put together, when I was working at an old company about 5 or 6 years ago, I was looking for a name for the quick 3-minute videos, and I was coming up with names, and he helped me name Rook 180, because I couldn't figure out a name for the damn thing. We haven't did a Rook 180 in a long time. I'll go back to doing Rook 180s again. I haven't did one just in a God's age, unfortunately. It is on my radar again. The biggest problem I run into Rook 180 is to buy the minifigures, because I usually I want to get them for a good price. Usually even like a 5 and below is a good place to go to, because the blind boxes are not more than $5. So it'll be a good place to go to get minifigures. They do have decent collectibles at 5 and below. If you do not know, it's a good place to get those things. Even going to Ollie's, they do have some blind box figures every once in a while at a pretty good price. Yeah, I don't think they have any time anymore, Dan, to be quite honest. Yeah, Dan helped me with a lot of stuff with the channel. Again, I said this many, many times before, this is a small channel. It's more of a group, family, community, as far as I'm concerned. All the people here I've met have come to follow me on the channel, been follow me for many, many years. Again, I'm doing YouTube, and I said this many, many times before, and I will reiterate it. I don't get paid a dime for this. This time I spend, the 2 to 4 hours I put together a video, the time I invest doing a stream with you guys, no one's paying me for that. I'm not getting paid through Twitch. I'm not getting paid through YouTube. I don't have enough watch time in minutes to make it monetized for me to do that. Would I love to? 100%. I would love to be, Pixel Dan, the next Pixel Dan. I would love to do that. I'd love to go to a con and interview the big toy makers, McFarlane Toys, or Hasbro, or go to Mattel. I would love to do that. I don't have the audience, unfortunately. I would love to have the audience, but I just don't. And I came to grips with that back in 2018. I understood that YouTube changed their policies. I get that. I understand that. Would I want to have it as a second form of income? 100%. I think I could do that. I think I could, as you guys can see, I'm a decently entertaining guy. I try to keep the language kind of PG-13, PG-14. Rook in real life is dialed up to 100. If you think this is kind of, comes across harsh sometimes, real life Rook, dial it up to 100. I got a mouth like a sailor. I try to keep the content clean, because I know I have a lot of kids that watch my content. This is a toy-based form of content. Collectibles and action figures and toys, for the most part, usually it's a young kid kind of market, a demo. Young little boys. You're looking at, 8 to maybe 12, 13-year-olds. So I try to keep the content as clean as I possibly can do that. And I know a lot of families kind of, understand that. I'll say if I'm going to get a little bit, a little heated, I'll let people know, hey, parents, watch it. I'm going to get a little heated in this video. But I probably could. If I really wanted to push the envelope, if I really want to push the needle, I probably could stream every single day. And I probably could get monetization that way. A video like this would probably get me about 10 to 12 hours of watch time. And if I did it every single day for a month to 2 months, I probably could get monetization. If I tried really, really hard, I probably could. But I don't want to do that. I want to have a life. I want to enjoy my freedom away from YouTube, because YouTube can drive you crazy. People in comments, people demanding you're, putting out content every single day. I give content usually twice a week. Now doing the shorts, maybe 3 to 4 times, and sometimes the toy hunt. So I do put additional content up, but I still want to have my personal free time. What do I do for my day job? As far as my day job, I'm dealing quality assurance. I'm a software tester. My job is to make sure pieces of equipment and firmware work correctly. I use an analogy that I came up with many years ago, and that is I could tell a developer to his face that his baby is ugly, and I can get away with it. I'm one of the few people that can do that. I'm not going to do it in a dickish way. I'll be honest, and they won't like the honesty, but I'll be brutal. I'd rather be brutally honest and tell them the truth than to give them, talk from the backside of my mouth and lie to them. So my job is to make sure firmware and software works. That's my job. I'm a tester. More manual tester. That's what I do for my daytime job. That's what pays the bills. This whole thing, YouTube, doesn't pay me anything. I said when I first started doing it, when I did have monetization, when I first started, before they changed the policy, I made enough money during that time frame to fill my gas tank one time. So if you do the math in your head, think how much it'll cost you to fill your gas tank fully was about how much I made in about 2 years before they cut the monetization. Because I started in 2016, the major change in 2018. So about 2 years, YouTube doesn't pay you really anything. Be quite honest. Unless you're very successful, unless you're an influencer, to give you just a bit of info, anytime you see someone who has 1 million views, I'll give you just this. You can look this up online. This is truthful information. I'm not trying to lie to anybody about it. If you look this up online, if you have 1 million views with standard click-through rates, if you have 1 million views, that video made you about $2,000 of US. If you do the numbers. So someone who had like 50 million views got like 20, 30 grand. It only works if you're very influential, you have a huge following, or you have a big name. Someone like Mr. Beast, as an example, massive following. Huge. Your PewDiePie's massive following, makes stupid amounts of money on YouTube. I mean, if you look at Asmongold, if you're involved in World of Warcraft circles, he's huge into the videos, the reaction videos, the World of Warcraft stuff. Massive money. He has in his videos that companies will pay him 20 grand for him to Twitch stream for 4 hours, and he'll turn them down. The guy is a millionaire. He dresses like a slob. He looks like, he's pencil thin, but he has a huge fan following. He's massively successful. He started his own computer company. He is extremely, extremely successful. Would I like to be him? 1000%. To just sit in front of a computer all day, this being your job, who wouldn't want that? Who wouldn't want that? But that's about it, guys. I went past my 9:30 mark. Thank you all for coming into the stream tonight. Dan, great seeing you again. Moderators, great to have you in here as always. AA, good luck on your toy hunt. I do hope you like this stream. Keep your eyes open for the video. We're doing Atrocitus this coming Thursday as far as an action figure review. I'll be done with action figure reviews for at least for the foreseeable future. I've been doing a lot of them for the last 2 weeks. So back to Funko stuff, back to some statues, maybe some Rook 180. Again, I do hope you like the stream. Definitely keep your eyes open for new stuff along the way. I hope you enjoy it. Remember, this video does go on video demand probably within 24 hours, around 10 or 11 a.m. the following day. I do want to thank, again, everybody who came into stream. Thank you very much, guys. And I'll be signing off in 3,